warm welcome to all of you on the World MSME Day and such a large gathering. A heartfelt thanks to all of you for taking your time out to meet us all here today. My name is Vasuki Kashyap, and as introduced by Tapasya, and I would like to thank the organizers, Small Enterprise, and other supporting partners like the KDM and some of the startup partners who you see on the side panel there, and other industry associations like FKCCI and CASIA and other industry associations who are part of this program. And thanks to the organizing team, Tapasya and the Dojojos, for giving us this opportunity to be the supporting partner from K-tech, powered by NASSCOM. I lead the SME Initiatives at NASSCOM Center of Excellence, apart from the Investor Connect and startup investor relationship that I manage, and enterprise strategic partnerships for the enterprises, where we help startups and the enterprise to co-create on innovative solutions which they would be looking for. Just to give a quick intro about NASSCOM Center of Excellence. This was started in 2016 as part of the Digital India Initiative. And we have 4 centers, as you can see here. Bengaluru was the first one, then we have Vizag at Andhra Pradesh, in the Andhra University, and Gift City Center of Excellence for AI in Gujarat, and then one in Gurugram at the Hartron in Udyog Vihar. These are the 4 centers, and this is supported through the public-private partnership, where supported by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and the respective state governments are partners in this, the ITBT and Electronics Ministry. And so this is the overall objective in terms of how we closely work with the industry, academia, and the startups. So this is some of the, just to give a highlighted numbers, we have impacted more than 31,000 total tech startups, and more than 3,600, roughly now it is about 5,000 startups that we impacted, and more than 70 patents have been filed, and more than 500 use cases have been solved in the public domain as well as in the enterprise domains. And we have helped a lot of startups soft land in India, and as well as in, open up offices and start their international operations across, where we connect them to the international collaborations as well. So this is the overall, the startups, how we work with them, access to the industry use cases, both in terms of the paid and the pilot projects that we work with them, with the industry, and access to our infrastructure. We have a 140-seater incubation center or accelerator program that's run at the HSR facility, the K-tech hub. And academia and research, we work with a lot of the IITs, IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, IIT Gandhinagar, several of them, we work with them. And including some of the societal impact projects through the MeitY, through the frontier technologies, through the NITI Aayog, that we work with them closely in providing some of the innovative solutions and startups in the healthcare and other agri and other most impactful domains, which is impactful for in the energy sector or energy transition areas and all of that. And with the industry, we work very closely with the enterprises, be it the GCCs or any other enterprise or the manufacturing enterprise, where we help them accelerate their journey, innovation journey, through digital solutions or the innovative offerings from the startups. So coming back to the topic of today, how we can transform challenges into opportunities, how you can be Industry 4.0 ready. This is a program that started sometime in September as part of the Global Investor Meet with the government of Karnataka that we started, Department of Industry and Commissioner. I would like to thank the Commissioner, Ms. Gunjan Krishna, for her initiative. So we conducted workshops across various clusters, around 9 to 10 clusters across India, trained about 2,000 SMEs, and we had about early 20 adopters whom we showcased in the Global Investor Meet. And these digital adopters, the early adopters or the digital champions who adopted various solutions, starting from e-log, from a paper to the e-log book, or it could be from the visual quality inspection using machine visioning, all of that. These are some of the simple solutions, the SMEs or the micro SMEs who use these solutions, and they're largely being benefited by this. So just a quick journey, how it started in the 18th century. It started with the mechanization using the steam, the water and the steam to increase production in the assembly lines. And then we had the Industry 2.0 in the 20th century around, where the assembly lines were powered by the electrical energy to power the production and increase the production and assembly lines. Then we had the Industry 3.0, where the robotics and automation that came in around the 70s. Then currently we're talking about cyber physical network or the industry 5.0, where it's completely a software-defined network, cyber physical network, what we call, where the machines talk to each other and very minimal human interface that is required. So we are talking about how you can get there from, from the industry 2.0, 3.0 to the industry 5.0 that we can talk about, or the industry 4.0 currently that we're going to be presenting today. So we did a small survey. We had about 313 respondents comprising of large as well as medium enterprises. And out of which we had we asked them the 4 questions. Are you new to Industry 4.0? Or no but not adopted? And have you recently adopted any initiatives or any digitization that you have done? Or if you have adopted, what is the kind of benefits that you realized using them? Say over a period of 3 to 6 months, how it has impacted you in your production lines. So what we found was in the SMEs, nearly 43%, and in the large enterprises, nearly 31% or 33% of the SMEs said that they know but not adopted. That's a huge gap that we see. And in the large enterprises, if you see, there are 24% say that they're new to it, they do not know. So these are some of them who are about, say, 100 crore plus or 200 crore plus kind of turnover companies that I'm referring to when I say large enterprises or up to 500 crores. And less than 50 crores is what the SMEs that we spoke to. So there is a gap that you can see here in the SMEs and the large enterprises, nearly 15% and 29% who recently adopted and had the benefits. And still there's a large gap in terms of the number of people adopted and realized benefits to the 33% that you see here who are not adopted yet, and no but not adopted. They're aware of it, but they have not adopted it. So we'll come to that as to why they had these challenges or what reservations they had that they could not do it. These are some of the familiar problems that you will find. I'm sure you will relate to this and some of them would resonate. Do you see these problems, whether it is the labor, my worker leaves early without informing me, a lot of workers are at the plant, but I don't know what's happening, whether they are productive or not. Then you have the operational costs, energy bills. As the machine gets older, you have the energy bill going up and how it is being maintained. You have to depend on some of the people who are experts at it, who have been with you from the beginning. So one expert champion will be there who will take care of all the production control. So how about the efficiency and productivity? Are you really sure about it? I'm not sure. I rely on my experienced workers. As I said, there'll always be one champion at every factory who will take care of everything. He can handle everything, he can maintain everything, he can down everything. Then operations, frequent breakdowns, causing big losses or the production lines getting stopped, and direct and indirect consequences of business operations leading to your impact on the bottom line. So all the data records, everything is on the ledger or in the books, or it is historically maintained in Excel sheet. Some of them may not be available or may be available. So how do I take the first step in going digital? What are the steps to overcome these challenges? As Mr. Girish earlier pointed out, you have to depend less on your labor and go more for digitization because that's the only way you can achieve success or by having better profitability. These are some of the typical challenges that we have seen in SMEs. Acquiring digital skill is difficult, not much of use. Then I don't have the time or, work or the new initiatives that I can take up. I'm so busy with so many other things. And AI and IoT are for large enterprises and not for me. When everything is working fine, why should I invest on digital? So the current order book is there, it's working fine, the labors are working fine, everything is going well. Why should I invest more? Or why should I go for digital? So I have not seen examples of MSMEs. It's mainly for large enterprises. And then I have already invested on digitization. Some automation work has already taken place, some robots and other stuff that has already been put up. So do you resonate with these? These are some of the problems. Can somebody raise their hand? Do you see these? How many manufacturers could be here around? Good, thank you. That's a reasonably good number. So these are two different things. What I would say is, it's not about replacing human with machines is what we are not talking about, replacing the humans with both with the digitization efforts. Automation is all about your focus on reducing your workforce, as Mr. Girish mentioned to you earlier. With same time and also you're assured of the quality that you're producing and improving your quality of produce. Replace manual work with machine as much as possible. Digitalization helps you integrate many departments. All becomes one factory under one roof, and you're able to see the complete dashboard. You can see it wherever you are and at any location. And focusing on your operational efficiency, then improves your data decision-making ability. When you have everything on the dashboard that's available, it helps you. However, even if you're traveling abroad, you don't have to be there to take decisions. So when the data is available to you, the people are empowered to take the decision. What is the next step to be done? Anything that needs to be done. Then enable human-machine interaction. That's a cyber-physical decision that I was talking about. There are 3 types of Industry 4.0 initiatives: transformation, optimization, and modernization. Starting with the modernization, what is it that you can modernize in your factory? From current PLCs that you have in your, attached to machines, you can go for the IoT connectivity. Then you can go for upgrading to new versions of the latest version of the software that you use, not the pirated ones, but the real ones. And then transitioning from paper to e-logbook or paper to digital. Then you're talking about, from a on-premise to a cloud ERP, so that you have the data available all time, real time, and wherever you are. And you're implementing the equipment efficiency, tracking the systems, and complete collection of this data, which is automated. So that's a part of the modernization thing that you can work on. Then is your optimization. Currently, you already have all these things in place, the IoTs and collecting the data and all of that. Then you look at how you can analyze this data. So how we can leverage AI, that's the next step that comes in. That's a transformation part, optimization part of it. And coming to the transformation part of it, fundamentally you change the way you work. You're launching a subscription-based equipment as a service, or any of your products as a platform as a service, then creating a customer-facing AR platform for experiencing your products. And any customization that you want to do, you can use it through the AR, VR, and XR realities. Then enabling direct-to-customer manufacturing with the help of AI. Then building blockchains for your supply chain and other stuff, and tracking all your movements of the materials. What do you want to achieve in terms of your Industry 4.0 goals? Are these some of the aspirations that you have as a manufacturer? Whether it is in the IoT, yes, I want my production monitoring, the real-time production monitoring I want to achieve. Then in the OT space, what is the kind of my line effectiveness? What's the throughput that I'm going to have? Then on paper to digital. So 60 to 80% of time is spent on data, collecting data, what the people are doing on the shop floor, how much are we producing, how I can translate all of this into digitization and save time and money, and also on labor. So then, where all the departments, are they speaking the same language, a common language? Then do you want to develop and start working using apps for the complete digitization? Then system-based quality assurance, whether it is using machine visioning, computer vision, industrial grade cameras, etc. Then traceability of your products, which is on the move. And real-time monitoring of the workflow, how it is happening, and any error prevention that you can do, predictive maintenance, all of that. Connecting machine and the workforce, machine learning. Then you have the telemetry, which is the reduce cost of poor quality of products. That's a quality assurance part of it. Quality control. So if you look at this circular pictures, that I'm showing with a 1 to 10, I'm sure you will be able to identify, this is a typical factory environment, a manufacturing environment, where we're talking about manual data process management, manual inventory management, frequent machine failure, high energy costs, product quality issues, supply chain, compliance management, worker safety, then remote monitoring, remote customer and expert support that you can extend, and low market reach. You want to expand to other international markets or other markets within India. So how we can all achieve that? Some of the solutions that I'm going to show here, these are in the range of 50 to 5 lakhs, 50,000 to 5 lakh range. These are already successfully being implemented by some of the SMEs, and they've benefited from this, starting with the e-logbook that I can talk to you about. The engineering company adopted this solution, and they were real-time availability of data and visualization. You can see these dashboards. And they saved nearly about 20% on their man hours. what helped them is basically to take decisions, cultural shift, empowerment of their labor and their employees. They were feeling that they're working on the latest of the technology and they're spending less time entering manually things. And all the data was available to everyone at any given point of time. There was no dependency on people. These are available on monthly subscription. The manual inventory management using QR code and RFID one, how you can do the asset tracking using the barcode, etc. What would take you otherwise a couple of hours, you can do this in few minutes. With the tracking of those trays through the barcodes and the QR code, you're able to do the asset tracking, route optimization, and tools and spare parts management. Here, anybody who is producing for pharma or automotive component, a smaller component, you will know the pain of this, what I'm referring to. So retrofitting of some of the IoT sensors for your existing machines, whether it is a second-hand machine that your refurbished machines that you bought, or the machine that is already old, but at least 10 years old, you can do the retrofitting of these sensors, which monitors the health of the machine and also the vibration, the energy consumption, and all of that. One of the textile manufacturer implemented this, or you started using this. They were able to save at least 10% on the energy consumption, and they reduced downtime by 40%, significantly improving their after-sales and service costs. They were able to gain control of it. That's what they were able to do by retrofitting these kind of sensors and collecting data from that. It gives you real-time alerts also if there is a problem. It alerts you that where you need to fix. So it helps you prevent some of these failures. So product quality issues using your computer vision. It is highly helpful, let's say when you're exporting something, you're assured of the quality that you're sending. And this can become a big marketing tool also for you that, you use these kind of technologies when you're sending, your products to exporting some of these products. It gives an assurance to them that, you're using the latest of the technology to send those products. And these are some of the very minute products, especially the caps, which are probably going into your pharma companies, any of the vials and all of that. Or it could be in automotive components that goes very small and minute ones. So these are some of the outcomes where a pencil manufacturer use this, and an automotive parts manufacturer use this, and an FMCG manufacturer use this for identification and printing defects. The benefits are immense, and its utility in various areas are very much there. These can be achieved by using your industrial grade cameras. So this is a completely AR, VR using this. Especially in the pandemic, a lot of people, made use of this to show how their factory is functioning, how their factory is, and how they are well equipped. Some of them use this also for inspection for some of the chemical factories and compliance areas, where they use this to get the permission and to run those factories. This can be a big marketing tool also for manufacturers to pitch to your international customers as how you produce products. So this entire video they will take and they'll make it into an artificial reality, and make it into a video like this, and they give it to you so that they can wear this. This completely gives you a 3D view of that. You can walk through your entire factory. So this can be used for your product training, remote training, all of that, and then onboarding of your employees. All of this can be achieved through this, and also helps you in brand building and compliance and safety. This is using your current CCTV cameras for product counting. This is a tile company, which is ceramic company, which is uploading the materials to a truck. And this is for whether people are wearing the safety gear or not. This can be immediately an intrusion detection also can be used as that. Anybody who is not an authorized person who is entering your premise, then whether people are wearing the safety gear in certain sensitive areas, whether they're wearing the helmet or safety gears or the suit, that can be achieved through this. So it captures the number in terms of the counting also it does. So this helps you identify that. This is for the safety. These are some of the simple solutions that we just demonstrated to you here, which gives you an idea as to what are the different areas that you can go for digitization, and how you can even use IoT sensors for your retrofitting to any of your existing machines. Overall, these are the 10 areas that we found that are very absolute pain points for the SMEs, especially in the manufacturing domain, who can look at achieving this all these 10 areas that, there are solution providers who have implemented it various successfully using those solutions that are available. And as I mentioned to you, these are start from the 50,000 to a 5 lakh bracket. So once you implement these, what is that you go to, what is that you can gain from this? So here in the digitization, as you know, the data is the key source, where you adopt through the data capture, through the sensors, e-logbook, and devices. Once you connect all the machines, you collect the data. Then you start processing the data by storing them and aggregating them and completely do the visual modeling. How you can, next is how you can diagnose those through the visualization and regular monitoring, and it helps you monitor your machines and people and the process and your inventory and your supply chain, all of that. And you can identify and pinpoint what is the root cause of a problem if there is a machine failure that happens. How this can help you capturing these and the steps to the digitization help you intervene and take the, once it reports or gives you alerts, how you can pinpoint and take a preventive measure and corrective action. So how do I start my journey? How do I go about adapting digital? So it's a curve that you start at the bottom. Where you start at the tail of the, the growth curve, this is the digital roadmap, where you start by prioritizing your focus areas. Identify the problem areas, what are the manufacturing challenges that you're currently facing, and where do you stand as of today in terms of current state of assessment that you need to do, and what you want to achieve also, you need to identify that, which we can help you do that. And create a basic digital infrastructure, automate repeated tasks, production processes, put ERP in place. If you are using a large ERP, SAP like, it's good, but if you are using a smaller ERP or not using an ERP, you can still use those solutions that I mentioned to you. They are not ERP dependent. Then connect your machines, validate these solutions, do a POC first. Assess the ROI, 3 to 6 months time you take. One of the departments in manufacturing area, you can do that. And then once you gain confidence, start small. Once you gain confidence, go big and scale across organizations or across factories. If you have multiple factories, you can scale across. Once you have done a successful POC and you have seen the benefits of it, then optimize the solutions then completely automate the support and process as well. We did this program as part of the Global Investor Meet across enabling Industry 4.0 for SMEs. And these are some of the clusters that we conducted these workshops. And the key areas of training that we did was operational challenges faced by SMEs and step-by-step approach, how they can go for digitization, examples of low cost to how they can easily adopt smart industry solutions to become Industry 4.0 ready. How we can enable you or how we can help you if you are an SME. So we have a QR code which you can scan that QR code and nominate any of your problem statements that you have. Any area related to manufacturing you can. Services we won't be able to help you much, so please don't mind. It's purely for the manufacturing enterprises only that we can help. Nomination from the SMEs for adopting smart solution. We understand your challenges from the COE, from one of the SMEs will talk to you. We'll get on a Zoom call or a Teams call and we'll try to identify and define your use case once you have told us the problem areas. Then applications from the startups we receive. We'll operate for startups and other solution providers to join this. And then we engage the SMEs on the solution providers. Then we guide you till you do the POC. So we had nearly 17 successful adopters who were felicitated at the Global Investor Meet. And these are some of the examples of the, Velox Tires, a solution provider being Factory.ai. Then Sri Acme Industries, so the solution provider is India. So these are the problems that manual data logging, physical logbooks caused inefficiencies in tracking work in progress and customer orders, lack of real-time visibility. So the solution adopted was deployed data with a Factory.ai enabling QR code-based work in progress tracking system and real-time dashboards. The impact which they achieved was real-time WIP and order tracking, improved visibility, reduced manual data logging and all of that. So this was completely an e-logbook from a paper to e-logbook. The other one is in the manual planning machines, labor and inventory, which they adopted by the Acme Industries, implementing modules for sales, planning and execution, quality, HR, inventory, and all of that across. So these are some of the 17 that we had, solution providers and the adopters. So as a manufacturing SME, you can scan this QR code, you can take a picture and you can nominate later. And once you tell us about your problem solution, nominate your problem statement. So we will connect you to the relevant solution providers. We will enable you to have a conversation. You can pick the solution provider. There is no force on only, you have to work with only these two or only this particular solution provider. You will get a solution provider, say 3 or 4 choices. You can choose to go with them based on the best of the solution they have provided in a similar environment, cost, all of that. You can check for T1, L1, all of that. So if you're a solution provider, you can also be part of this program by nominating yourself that you're a solution provider and what solution do you provide. If you're an association or a consultant or an Industry 4.0 consultant, you can enable us by connecting to some more SMEs and we can even conduct workshops there. So once we get, this is a form, it will open up into a form like this. You can nominate your use case there. And we anonymize the name of the organization. We will only define the problem statement, like the use case. We say that, this is a safety equipment manufacturer. What is the problem statement? And the approximate turnover we put. So name of the organization is not revealed. So the Karnataka government has also launched another program where they are doing an AI-based matchmaking for the SMEs, especially the manufacturers, where you can be part of a global manufacturing ecosystem by connecting the local SMEs to global manufacturers. And if you log into that and register yourself with your Udyog Aadhaar and all of that, so it opens up into completely, you will get a unique ID and the area that you work on, if you mention all of that by filling up that form in the SME Connect portal provided by the government of Karnataka. So you get those matched results also, and people who are interested to connect with you, they will be able to reach out to you directly without any middleman in between. Thank you, and thanks everyone. Any questions? Happy to take. Yeah, please.
Sir, you were mentioning retrofitting IoT sensors.
Right, sir.
But with the new technologies like 3D printing and other manufacturing processes, can these sensors be embedded at the time of the design itself into the product so that it gives more efficient output? Because retrofitting is at a outer layer. So these kind of things can be introduced. And another question is, now because of environment and global warming, we have to design more manufacturing processes which are green, like climate, environmentally friendly and other things.
Sustainable
So sustainability,
right.
How the present industrial processes can be converted to that kind of thing so that without major investment, like some new materials and new processes can be brought into the existing infrastructure, industrial infrastructure, and taken to the next step.
Okay, so I'll answer the first part of where you mentioned about whether at the design itself, whether this can be included when you're talking about the 3D printing. Right now, we have not come across anyone doing that as of now. So the machines are being done separately, and the sensors and other stuff, especially if I'm referring to here some of the older machines. So let's say if the machine is about 10 years old or 15, 20 years old. So we are referring to those kind of machines that are in your factory right now, those ones. And coming back to your sustainable practice, yes, there is a lot of emphasis on that. Whether it's the pollution control board or some of your those departments and other stuff. So there is a lot of emphasis on the sustainable practices by the manufacturing. And there's now some of the machines which are coming nowadays are also meant for achieving those goals.
My question is, can you elaborate more on one thing you mentioned, cyber physical system? Can you elaborate more on it? how it works? Yeah.
The cyber physical machines that we're talking about is all your machines nowadays comes with the, your Ethernet and the PLCs that you have. So if you have an existing PLC that you already have, so how are you collecting the data? So once you start collecting the data, are you connecting to other machines as well? So you need to connect all the machines on your shop floor and which are driven by a software. So that's why we are talking about a cyber physical network.
So one-to-one, person-to-person.
Machine to machine. Machine to machine communication is what we're talking about, where you control everything. So it is all completely software defined network, and you manage that wherever you are. Even remote monitoring is possible. That's what we are talking about, where it requires very minimal intervention of humans.
Things, right? Basically, so the business secrets, or like said, the technology part. So the digitalization part, one side it gives a lot of advantages, but the other side they are too much worried. So as we remember, there was a lot of activities happening at a government level, even for the data protection. So can any scheme can be bought wherein which the central data of these small companies get into a government central server than that of believing on a private entities, whatever it could be, whether it is a small entity or a bigger entity basically, and then yes, of course, it could be a subsidized under MSME or so, because there is a lot of investment happens. So there are a lot of data centers which is getting evolved in the country. So the industry 4.0, one side the application or the business logic output to the owner, but on the other side a risk of the data which is the key factor of his business basically. So just a thought process, whether it is possible or not.
Okay, thank you for that question. See, in terms of the localization of the cloud data and other stuff, so there are local players who have started with the support from the MeitY. You would have seen some of the local players, the local brands who are working on that, where all your data and everything resides within India, and also it's available at an affordable cost through the you can put you have hosted your ERP and other stuff on the cloud itself instead of the on-premise. So these are some of them that are already available, but whether it is in terms of price points, whether it is attractive really to the MSMEs, I really don't know. I can't comment on that. But there are efforts in that direction to make it, available to some of the smallest of the enterprises also who can use those and host some of their ERPs onto that. And these ERPs can be used by across various manufacturing industries in the MSME space. That work is already underway. So you may soon hear from the Ministry of, MSME on that. And also the protection of the data is also being taken care in that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good day.